Tu vas le régler à 40 ans.
On met en route, on descend la voiture ici, on le fait sortir.
Frank, just something that comes back to me, has just occurred to me now. I mean, all the drivers you worked with, but still, once in a while, somebody is capable of just stunning you. And I remember talking to you very soon after. You remember the one and only test that Prost ever had in the Ligier, and you were completely stunned.
Absolutely.
By that day,
Yeah.
It's always stuck in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was just great. For a start, he was one of the few drivers who had actually sussed a few things of his own. He actually said to me once, he said, "Why is it that even at Monaco, in a first gear hairpin, the aerodynamics is more important than anything mechanical?" Now, I've never known a driver say that before. In fact, I know quite a lot of engineers who wouldn't understand that. And it is absolutely true if you look at the information and if you think it through. I won't bore you with why, but he had sussed it. And he wanted to know from me, who was known as an aero guy, why it was. And that, I'd say, it was improving. But he was we did on a quali setup, he was 2 seconds quicker than Boutsen. And on the race sim we did, he averaged 1.6 seconds quicker than Boutsen, which destroyed Ligier, to be honest.
And he'd never driven the car before.
Never driven it before. And he wanted to know things like he didn't. You see, the great drivers, and this is me being an arrogant engineer and enjoying the fact, but the great drivers don't actually try and understand how the car works. They come in and tell you what it's doing and assume you know how it works well enough to deduce from what they're saying what you need to do next. And they're the guys who are fun to work with, and all the great drivers are like that. None of the great drivers require in my experience, require a secretary to just write down what they've done. And he was just fast. And I knew he wanted to destroy Boutsen. He hated Senna, as you know, and Boutsen was a friend of Senna's. And so there's no doubt about it. He was not going to say it to me, but he was going to completely destroy Thierry Boutsen that day, and he did. I mean, Thierry was completely sure the chassis had broken or something when he drove it and couldn't get any way. He was spinning off, and also he was just nowhere near. And it demoralised Guy completely, because I think Prost wanted the team, but he wanted it free. And we went to the first race with Prost's seat, pedals, everything, assuming Prost was driving. I got to the race, and I didn't know that Prost wasn't the #1 driver until I got to the race. And you'd then see Guy's copy of the times, and we were contracted to have one lower engine than Williams, so there was no way we were going to beat them, however good our car was, to be honest. But if you looked at how much faster Prost was than Boutsen, and looked at where Boutsen was on the grid, as Guy obviously did because he'd marked it on every sheet, we'd have been up there. And so Guy stopped going to the races, and that's where once Guy lost his enthusiasm, it was on its way down, really, and then the Ducarouge and everything else thing happened. But no, I really think that had Alain joined Ligier, it would have been a problem for Guy, because he would definitely have done a cuckoo job on Guy sooner or later, but Ligier would still be up there, I think, because we were quick enough to be pretty competitive with everybody apart from Williams if he'd been driving it.
Fascinating.